Season poll in the President's Athletic Conference have to say about the Yellow Jackets?
Well, with that preseason poll, the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets were in 9th place overall right before this season started. Behind them, we had the Franciscan Barons and the Teal Tomcats at 11. At starting up with the PAC, we have Chatham at 1, Washington and Jefferson at 2, Allegheny at 3, Bethany at 4, St. Vincent at 5, Grove City at 6, the Geneva Golden Tornadoes at 7, and Westminster at 8, all ahead of the Yellow Jackets. And right now within the PAC standings, without a conference matchup, they are ranked 2nd overall. So we'll see where that goes, especially leading into this Wednesday.
The Yellow Jackets were 5-15, Joe, last year in conference play. They open up conference play on Wednesday against the Grove City Wolverines. I had a chance to catch up with Sam Jones before this final non-conference matchup. Back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network with women's basketball head coach Sam Jones. Coach, talk about your group's response in that last game, final minutes of regulation and overtime.
I think we just had a solid belief that we were going to put it together. We knew that when we did the right things that we could come back, and so we just had that belief. And when we needed a stop, we got a stop. When we needed a basket, we got a basket. And then once we got it to overtime, we knew that we had them where we wanted them.
What's the mindset going into these non-conference games?
Just to build confidence, to learn and grow on the court so that we can figure things out and have things hopefully running a little bit more smoothly when we get to conference.
Lastly, talk about Callista Friday as a player. 32 points, career high in points against Carlo.
Yeah, Callista's a great player, very talented. She can get to the rim. She's a great rebounder, period, let alone her size is being involved in the equation. And obviously she can score from outside as well. So she's a great player, and kind of when the game gets sloppy is when she's at her best. And so as the game got a little sloppier, we just kind of let her do her thing and take over. And it's great to have a player like that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Stay tuned to the Waynesburg University Sports Network for more content. Coach Jones for taking the time. Joe, always a friendly face here on the Waynesburg University Sports
Always
Network.
a friendly face, and he talked about that Carlo game that they had, and with that Carlo game, they won 80-79 in an overtime thriller. I was lucky enough to be there, able to call that game alongside Benicio DeFalco. But with that, they just were on fire, especially going against in those bench points. The bench points was what led us to that victory with 44 total points, 32 of those coming from Callista Friday, which we'll talk about later. But comparing to Carlo's 13 bench points, I mean, that's just something that you really got to credit to this bench that they have. And it's basically like they have a second team within this Waynesburg offense.
We'll continue to highlight Waynesburg as we go on, but I want to highlight Mia Hankins played 40 minutes in that game for Waynesburg against Carlo in a gritty 80-79 final. Kara McFadden had 14 points in that game as well.
Yeah, and with that, they were just on fire with that three-point lane. They were 11 for 30, being 36.7% from the lane, and that just was all credit to Mia Hankins and Kara McFadden, both draining 6 three-pointers in the remaining like 60 seconds of that game to keep them into the lead, tie that game 70-70, take it to overtime. But the big competitor in that game was Callista Friday with 32 points, a new career high for herself into that game. She was 23 after last season. Now it was 32. I was able to catch up with her, ask her about that. Let's see what that looked like. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into one of the pre-game interviews here. We have Callista Friday with us. Last week, she had a 32-point career game, her new career high last week, or before that, it was 23 points. Now, Callista, did you know that going into the game, and did that affect you at all? Did you think about that when you were on the court?
No, I don't really go into the games worrying about scoring. I just wanted to win, and I put in my full effort to win, and it just happened that way.
So with that monster game that you had against Carlo, you guys moved on. It was 80-79 overtime thriller win. How do you transition going into this game against Wooster, and how does the team transition from that?
I feel like both ways we just have to keep our energy, and that's like the best thing you can have is just energy to roll into conference play.
And then with that, you mentioned conference play. On Wednesday, you guys are going to go with the men's team as well, traveling to Grove City for first conference play. How do you feel about that, and what is the team mentality going into conference play?
We're excited, and we're ready to showcase what we think we can do this year. So going into conference play, we'll be able to really test and see how much better we've gotten.
All right, well, that's going to do it all for us here with Callista Friday. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's go back to the pregame. Callista Friday being one of those players that Anthony and I both have as our players to watch. Looking at those other players for Waynesburg that we have, Kara McFadden having 14 points last week against Carlo and averaging 14 points a game. She's definitely one to look at, especially at that three-point line. She's been able to come in, just start shooting right away. She's able to drain a few. Once she gets hot, she gets hot.
10 three-pointers lead the team so far, Joe. She just unleashes from beyond the arc, and it's been effective so far.
Yeah, definitely so far. And with that, another effective player we've seen is Jules Moorbacher, being able to have 3 total blocks, leading the team. One of those blocks coming late in the Carlo game, able to keep them in it in overtime, blocking one of the shots to put 2 points up for Carlo, giving the ball right back to the Yellow Jackets, coming down. Mia Hankins getting fouled. Mia Hankins then putting up those final points to win them that game.
Right, one thing you'll hear as a storyline is Kayla Howard is out yet again tonight. They're looking for replacements there. Tori Wesolowski and Jules Moorbacher have certainly stepped into that role just fine so far.
Yeah, definitely all of them. And then going back to Callista Friday, we've been talking about her all day so far, and she will be talked about again. She's not in the starting lineup right now, but she normally does come in that second wave, normally in about that 5-minute mark. She will come in, hopefully, at some point. I mean, you can't sit her down having almost 23 average points per game. It is something you can't ignore, especially going into this game.
On the Wooster side, there's 3 players I want to highlight. The first one is freshman Mackenzie Riccitelli, 23 and 22 points in her last 2 games, Joe, against familiar foes in Franciscan and Teal. The other one, Ella Biondi, a junior, has the most rebounds on the team with 42 in her first 3 games, along with 8 blocks to go along with that. The other player is Ace Sturdivant. She leads the team in points per game with almost 20, 70% from beyond the arc so far this season.
Yeah, and this game is going to be 1-2C, especially getting ready to go into conference play. It's going to tell a lot of stories as to what we're going to be seeing from this Waynesburg team. Going into it, I'm going to have to take Waynesburg here. I mean, how can you not? 3-0, they're on a hot start. As you said before, 3-0 for the first time since 2010, 2011, and that's when they won the ECAC when they were back in that conference. So we'll see what they do tonight. I'm looking for a great win.
You stole my line right there, Joe. Last time they went 3-0, they won the ECAC championship. Looking to go 4-0 tonight, I think they will, over Wooster, a team which they lost to by 13 in their last matchup earlier this year. Not much prior history before that, however.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we send it up to the guys in the booth?
No, I'm just really excited to see this competitive game we're going to have. As we mentioned before, those players from Wooster and those players from Waynesburg, it's going to be a competitive matchup, so definitely don't go anywhere. Make sure to stay tuned here.
Yeah, stay tuned to the Waynesburg University Sports Network pregame coverage. Benicio DeFalco and Dean Shazer will have the call for the game. We'll be back here at halftime, so make sure to stay tuned.
Hey, how you doing? Excited to be here.
To the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the print collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need us to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse for a women's basketball non-conference matchup between the 3-0 Waynesburg Yellow Jackets and the 2-1 Wooster Fighting Scots. I'm Benicio DeFalco. Join with me is Dean Shazer. Dean, this is the first time the Yellow Jackets started the season 3-0 since the 2010-2011 season. What are some key players to look out for today for the Yellow Jackets?
Well, it's not necessarily just players. We'll get to that in a second. But if you take a look at the offensive efficiency numbers as a whole, they're first in the President's Athletic Conference with 83 points per game. They have the second biggest difference in point margin. They beat their opponents by at least 16 points per game. They allow the 6th fewest points in the President's Athletic Conference, just under 70. So we have a recipe of good offense to good defense. Usually it equals success. But now I wanted to take a look at Callista Friday, coming off of a 32-point game and an 80-79 overtime win over Carlo on Saturday. Callista Friday on the season is second in the President's Athletic Conference with just above 21 points per game, and she's also efficient in the assist category, being 5th in the conference, and she's 3rd in steals in the conference with just over 3. Now, taking a look at the other side, for the Wooster side of things, you look at Ace Sturdivant. Ace Sturdivant, the 5'9" sophomore out of Clearwater, Florida, averaging 20 points per game, 5 assists per game, and 6 rebounds per game, has really been the head horse for this offense.
So now it's time to start to get into your starting lineups. For the Yellow Jackets, it's going to be led by Tori Wesolowski, followed by Kara McFadden, Jules Moorbacher, Mia Hankins, and Jaden Sturm. On the Worcester side of things, we're going to see Emily Webb, Ellerly Clark, Mackenzie Riccatelli, Ace Sturdivant, and Ella Biondi. These two teams are being set to face off. They did play each other last season, as it was Worcester getting the 68-55 win over Waynesburg, in which Worcester in that game shot 30% from the field and 89% from the free throw line. Ace Sturdivant was the leading scorer for the Worcester Fighting Scots in that game with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yeah, Waynesburg in their last game versus Carlo, I mentioned 80-79 overtime win. They shot 38% from the field, but an above average 3-point shooting, 33% from 3. They are first in the President's Athletic Conference in 3-point efficiency with 41% from behind the arc.
So Eric Bethel will throw up the jump ball, and the Yellow Jackets will win the tip. Wesolowski throws it off to Mia Hankins. Hankins throws it to McFadden. McFadden at the top of the key. Gives it over to Sturm. Sturm back to Hankins. Wesolowski layup no good. It's going to be brought in by the Wooster Fighting Scots.
Yeah, the initial look was Moorbacher picked to set up a Hankins right wing 3 after an unsuccessful look from the outside. Hankins bounce pass into Wesolowski. That layup errand, and now Wooster.
So Sturdivant looking over her options now for the Yellow Jackets. Jules Moorbacher defending. Moorbacher passes into Riccatelli. Riccatelli's shot, air ball is no good. McFadden's going to bring in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets are on the break. She throws it over to Hankins. Hankins back to McFadden. McFadden gives it in the post to Wesolowski. Wesolowski layup is good. So Waynesburg will score the first points of the game, and it will be Tori Wesolowski getting it done for the Yellow Jackets.
Tori Wesolowski averaging just under 8 points per game, using the body in early on Biondi, getting the positioning, and early bucket for Waynesburg puts them up 2-0.
So it's going to be Biondi working versus Wesolowski in the post. It's going to be poked away by Moorbacher. McFadden on the break for the Yellow Jackets now. She hits Moorbacher. Moorbacher bounce pass into Wesolowski. Wesolowski layup, no good. It's brought in by Emily Webb. Emily Webb looking over options for the Fighting Scots. Just gives it off to Sturdivant. Sturdivant passes it over the Clock. Clock back to Webb. Webb versus Storm. Moorbacher defending Sturdivant. Sturdivant driving. Can't get the layup to go, but she is going to be fouled on the play by, looks like, Tori Wesolowski.
Right near the free throw line when Sturdivant was driving right. Moorbacher a little handsy, and then surprised he didn't call it there. Then when Sturdivant went in, you take a look here. Moorbacher used a little hand check right near the foul line, but it's the second initial contact from Wesolowski, actually, it looks like.
So Sturdivant's first free throw attempt of the game is good.
The foul will be on Moorbacher, but it looked like Wesolowski hit her up high.
So Jules Moorbacher, first foul of the game for the Yellow Jackets. Sturdivant's second free throw attempt gets it to go. So Wooster kind of going with the full court press now on McFadden. McFadden gives it off to Moorbacher. Moorbacher to Wesolowski. It's going to be poked away by Webb. Webb to Sturdivant. Sturdivant three-pointer is good.
Yeah, she was mentioned pregame, and that was for a reason. She shoots 71% from the three-point range, and her first bucket falls.
So Wesolowski's shot can't get it to go. Sturdivant brings in the rebound. Sturdivant, quick pass. Now the shot can be airballed. Mia Hankins brings in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Emily Webb will defend her at full court. Hankins bounce pass into Wesolowski. Wesolowski's shot won't go. Sturdivant brings in the rebound. She's gonna hit Ellerly Clock for the early layup. So the Wooster takes a 7-2 lead over the Yellow Jackets with 7 minutes remaining in the first. McFadden bounce pass to Moorbacher. Moorbacher back to Sturm. Moorbacher at the left wing now, working versus Sturdivant. So Hankins driving, layup is blocked. It's gonna be met at the rim by Ace Sturdivant.
Yeah, if you take a look here, Hankins has the ability with Moorbacher at the top of the key with a slight screen. Hankins goes up with the left hand. That is Biondi, who averages 13 points and 14 rebounds as a 6'2 junior at a Mentoro High.
So Hankins will have it at the top of the key. She gives it over to McFadden. McFadden, three-pointer won't go as the shot clock winds down. The Wooster on the break. Layup by Emily Webb is good. So Yellow Jackets trailing 9-3, or 9-2 now, with 6:20 remaining in the first. As Friday's checked in the game for the first time. Her first floater is good. The Yellow Jackets cut the lead to 5. Wooster leads 9-4, 6:09 remaining in the first.
32 points as a six-man off the bench last game against Carlo. Calissa Friday picking up right where she left off, 1 for 1 with 2 points.
Emily Webb driving versus Sturm. Webb gives it back to Clock. Clock working versus Moorbacher. Moorbacher's going to poke it away, and it's going to be Kara McFadden on the break for the Yellow Jackets. She hits Friday. Friday back to Moorbacher. Sturm, three-pointer, no good. It's going to be brought in by Sturdivant.
Sturdivant not only good for buckets, but as you see, her 2 assists came from the backcourt, using her full court vision to her advantage.
Sturdivant hits Riccatelli. Riccatelli, jump shot, can't get it to fall. Moorbacher's going to bring in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Riccatelli working versus Friday. Friday over to McFadden. McFadden, 3, won't go.
This Waynesburg team makes the most threes in the President's Athletic Conference, with averaging just over 11 threes made per game so far through the first 3 games of this early season.
Emily Webb, quick pass in to Riccatelli. Riccatelli's Shot won't go. Moorbacher brings in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. She hits it off to Friday. Friday on the fast break. It's back to Hankins. Throws it over to Sturm. Sturm passes into Moorbacher. Moorbacher floater. Gets it to go. So the Yellow Jackets cut the deficit to 3 now. Wooster leads 9-6, 4:28 remaining in the first quarter. George Moorbacher was just recently named to the first team President Athletic Conference for her contributions in the women's soccer season. Sturdivant shot won't go. Friday on the break trying to hit Hankins. That ball is going to roll out of bounds. So Yellow Jackets trail by 3 now, 9-6, 4:10 remaining in the first quarter.
A few substitutions on the Waynesburg side of things. It's going to be Aubrey Burns and Liv Ammons checking in, it appears to, but there was a timeout.
So we have our first media timeout. So far, we haven't seen much from the Yellow Jackets offensively. They haven't been able to get in stride yet, but we recently just saw Ecclesta Friday checking the game, and she was able to score her first point. So if they're able to get her going early, Friday coming off the bench, being the 6th man for this team, Wooster might have to look out as this game goes on.
Yeah, it's not just a matter of one player. I understand Callista Friday went off, had her career high in college with 32 last week. But you look early down low. Tori Wesolowski had 3 chances where she didn't take advantage of. A few easy, not easy, but semi-contested buckets that you would like to see your forwards make them go in, you know. Especially Jules Moorbacher at the end right here. The first time she is able to get into the paint, she was working early on Erica Beatty. Moorbacher averages just under 11 rebounds per game. Use the size to her advantage and being a multi-sport athlete. I feel like that helps out a little bit, as you mentioned, first team All-PAC for soccer.
So Wooster will take it up. It's going to be Sturdivant. Sturdivant has 5 early points in this one. Sturdivant pass it over to Clark. Clark working versus Moorbacher. They're going to get Moorbacher for her second of the night. Waynesburg's second overall as well.
Yeah, Moorbacher unhappy with that call. As she looked like, she felt as if she ripped that clean out of Ella Dean's hands. So looks at the ref, gives an aggressive clap to Aubrey Burns, a frustration clap.
With that second foul, Moorbacher will go to the bench, and Madison Dayton has checked in the game for Moorbacher. Second free throw attempt is good to cut the lead to 10-6. Yellow Jackets trailing Wooster. Aubrey Burns has the ball in the corner. She's going to hit Hankins. Hankins, 3-ball, won't go. Be brought in by Liv Ammons. Liv Ammons working on the offensive boards. Be fouled by Beatty. So Yellow Jackets will retain possession. Callista Friday will inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Throws it over to Ammons. Ammons, layup attempt, won't go. Looked like it was blocked there by Wooster. So Wooster will have it on the break. This will be Emily Webb, corner 3, got it. So Friday will bring the ball up for the Yellow Jackets. Looking over her options now. She hits Dayton in the post. Dayton layup. Gets it to go.
Quick answer from Waynesburg after another open 3 look from Wooster. That's their second 3, both on open looks from Sturdivant and Webb.
So we see Lander get the easy left-handed layup under the paint, under the post there. So Friday will have it at the top of the key. She hits Liv Ammons. Let Ammons off the Burns. Back to Friday. Friday, 3-point attempt. Won't go. Dayton trying to work the post. She can't do so. She'll be brought in by Erica Beatty. Emily Webb, quick pass in to Lander. Lander working the post. She'll be fouled on the play by Liv Ammons. Ammons' first foul of the game and Waynesburg's 3rd overall.
Lander only 2 points coming into this game. Gets that bucket prior to this possession. Now, bounce pass, a pivot foot, a little bit of footwork draws that foul. We'll head to the line looking for her third and fourth points of the night.
Lander only being a freshman in this Wooster lineup. Majority of Wooster starters only being freshmen. This is a young team, as Ace Sturdivant is the oldest player, and she's only a sophomore. Lander's free throw attempt won't go. It's going to be brought in by Madison Dayton. Burns hits Ammons. Ammons 3-ball, can't get it to go. It's going to be brought in by Wooster. But they will say Riccatelli's foot was out of bounds, so Waynesburg will retake possession. It's Friday looking to inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Quick pass into McFadden. McFadden left-handed layup, gets it to fall.
It's a tough bucket for McFadden to handling the pass initially, then going up with the left-handed layup, contested and off balance. A good two for McFadden.
Sturdivant will have it for the Wooster Fighting Scots. It's going to be Riccatelli at the right wing, working versus Burns. Riccatelli back to Sturdivant. Sturdivant driving in. And Madison Dayton was able to draw the charge there on Sturdivant, so Waynesburg will take possession. This will be Sturdivant's first foul of the game. Madison Dayton was defending there. Friday off the Burns. Burns three-pointer won't go. Brought in by Sturdivant. Sturdivant hits Webb. So Webb will bring it up the court for Wooster. They're going to call another offensive foul, this one being on Caitlin Burns. Caitlin Burns was working versus Dayton. Dayton making an immediate impact as she's entered the game, drawing two quick fouls on the offensive end for Wooster.
Yeah, Chris Bonchowski, the ref at the left baseline on your screen, now moving up the court with Friday. No hesitation to make that call. I think he already had the ball signaled for Waynesburg possession before he blew the whistle.
Friday floater, can't get it to go. It's going to be brought in by Beatty. It's be poked away by Krista Friday. Friday on the break, looking for Burns. It's going to be tipped off and picked off by Emily Webb. So Emily Webb will have it on the break for the Fighting Scots. McFadden gets another steal. McFadden looking over options. Crosses a few Wooster defenders over. Three-pointer, can't get it to go. Ammons working the post, gets the rebound. So Waynesburg will retake possession with that rebound. Friday has got the ball at the right wing. Friday working versus Riccatelli. Friday's layup, can't get it to fall. Riccatelli hits Clock. Clock working versus McFadden, gets the layup to fall.
That's Clock fourth points. And Wooster able to get the basket after three consecutive steals on possessions from two from Waynesburg, one from Wooster.
So Friday working versus Clock there. And call Clock on the foul. It's just a little bit too physical there with Friday. So 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Wooster holds a 17-10 lead over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Liv Ammons will inbound for Waynesburg. McFadden eyeing down her options. Let's get a screen from Dayton. She looks to hit her, but she's going to hit Ammons. Ammons left wing three, can't get it to fall. Be poked out of bounds there. Last touched by a Wooster defender. Looked like Macy Justice was in the vicinity for the Yellow Jackets, but they're going to say she didn't touch it. So Aubrey Burns will inbound for the Yellow Jackets. She hits Justice. Justice at the buzzer, won't get it to fall. So your score at the end of the first quarter, 17-10. Wooster leads the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Now Wooster holding the 7-point lead over the Yellow Jackets. But Dean, so far, what have you seen that you like so far from the Wooster Fighting Scots?
I like how they were able to take advantage of their open looks. You saw I mentioned the consecutive possessions of fast-paced play, 2 poke balls from the Waynesburg side, and then Wooster an intercepted pass on a fast break where it seemed as if, I believe it was McFadden that tried to force it, or it was Friday after the poke. She tried to force it down low. But it was Sturdivant and Webb, those 2 3-pointers that they hit. They're not necessarily a 3-point shooting team. Is Wooster compared to Waynesburg? Because Waynesburg, they shoot the most threes in the President's Athletic Conference and have the best 3-point percentage, and they just haven't looked like that 3-point shooting team today. Wooster, like I said, Webb and Sturdivant just taking advantage of their open looks, and Sturdivant's upcourt vision gives Wooster an extra 4 points on that board.
Yeah, Waynesburg almost going the opposite approach that we expected in this one. You mentioned their lead the PAC in 3-pointers attempted and made this season, but they've been working the post, it seems like, offensively, at least the last couple possessions, as it's been more Balker and Wesolowski working the post for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, not your original starting 5 that you would expect to see out there, and set the same 5 from the end of the second quarter. Liv Ammons, Madison Dayton, Karen McFadden, Macy Justice, and Aubrey Burns.
So Wooster will have possession. Emily Webb will inbound for the Fighting Scots. It's going to be Sturdivant at the top of the key, trying to get a screen from Webb. Signals her in the other direction. Throws it over to Riccatelli. Riccatelli now to Sturdivant, working the post. She's going to be fouled on the play. Aubrey Burns and Madison Dayton were in the vicinity. We'll wait to see who the foul is on. They're going to call it on Aubrey Burns. Sturdivant remains down.
So we take a look at the replay. I want to see what it looks like. Sturdivant injured. She did come down hard. I couldn't tell if she landed on her elbow or was it her face that hit the ground first. Looks like her elbow after Aubrey Burns, kind of after going up with her, they trip over each other. Foul given to Aubrey Burns, and after we make sure Ace Sturdivant is okay, averaging 20 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds on the season. Currently down at the baseline. And that's also a thing that you see out of Wooster. They've gone to the line plenty more times than Waynesburg. Waynesburg hasn't gone to the line yet this game, and this is going to be the 3rd or 4th time we've seen free throws. I believe the 3rd. It was 2 from Sturdivant. This is going to be her 2nd trip to the foul line, and as well as Lix Lander. And Ella Dean, so this is their 4th time going to the line. I stand corrected.
So it's going to be Aubrey Burns getting the quick foul here in the second quarter. Sturdivant is up and able to walk on her own. So good sign for the Wooster Fighting Scots.
Wooster 2-1 versus Waynesburg all time in this matchup. They first saw each other in the 2011-2012 season when Waynesburg defeated Wooster 81-48, and then they played a year later in 2012-2013, and it wasn't until nearly 10 or 11 years after last season when Wooster defeated Waynesburg again 68-55.
So Sturdivant will walk to the bench, and it will be Erica Beatty taking her the free throws for Sturdivant. Beatty, also a member of the soccer team for the Wooster Fighting Scots. Her first free throw attempt won't go. Second attempt is up and away. It's going to be brought in by Liv Ammons and the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. So Kara McFadden will bring it up the court for the Yellow Jackets. She hits Aubrey Burns. Burns working versus Webb. Now Dayton at the top of the key, back to McFadden. McFadden working versus Riccatelli. She hits Ammons, but they're going to call Liv Ammons on a travel.
It was interesting. I thought McFadden took more than 2 steps when kicking it out to Ammons on the left wing prior to that travel being called on Ammons. I thought McFadden would get one. In that case, it was gifted to Ammons.
Clock working versus McFadden. She's going to hit Biondi in the post. Biondi back out to Beatty. Beatty hits Riccatelli. Riccatelli now to Webb. Webb driving. There's Justice, and Justice pokes it away, and she's able to get the steal. She'll bring it up the court for the Yellow Jackets. Justice looking over options. She's going to hit Dayton in the post. Dayton, layup, gets it to fall. So the Yellow Jackets get their first points of the second quarter. Cut the lead to 5 now. They trail 17-12. Emily Webb will have it at the left wing. Webb over to Beatty. Beatty off the clock in the post. Clock working versus McFadden. Clock's able to draw the foul there on McFadden. So Wooster will take their 7th and 8th free throw attempts of the game. First shot by Clock. Gets it to fall. Clock's second free throw attempt won't go. Dayton brings in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets.
I was going to mention the size difference between Dayton and Biondi down low. Biondi has a good 6 inches on Dayton, being 6'2", and Dayton 5'8".
Justice trying to get the bounce pass into Dayton, but they're going to get Ellerly Clock on the kickball violation, so Yellow Jackets still have it. McFadden quick pass into Dayton. Dayton's able to draw a quick foul there by Biondi. So McFadden will inbound again for the Yellow Jackets. Biondi has just stepped off the court, being replaced by Eric Sturdivant. So Ace Sturdivant making her return in this one. Aubrey Burns throws it over to McFadden. McFadden working versus Riccatelli. Throws it over to Ammons, into Dayton in the post. Dayton's jump shot gets it to fall. Sturdivant on the other end now. Quick pass in to Beatty in the post. Beatty off the Riccatelli. Now to Sturdivant. Sturdivant throws it over to Clock. Clock working versus McFadden. Back into Clock, and it's being rejected at the rim by Liv Ammons.
Liv Ammons soaring from behind, got a hand on that, and the student section loves it.
So with that block by Liv Ammons, Waynesburg will go with a whole different lineup now as Tori Wesolowski, Kalista Friday, Clara Page Miller, Mia Hankins, and Jaden Sturm will enter the game for the Yellow Jackets. Wooster staying with their current lineup. Emily Webb hits Sturdivant in the post. Sturdivant working versus Friday, gets the jumper to fall. So Friday on the other end now by the Yellow Jackets. She's going to be met by Emily Webb at half court. Fadden. Now to Wesolowski. Wesolowski to Clara Page Miller. CPM gets the 3 to fall.
80% from 3 this season, and she continues her reign from downtown. Clara Page Miller brings the Yellow Jackets within 3 of the Fighting Scots.
Emily Webb will work versus Sturm. Clock working versus Page Miller. Can't get the layup to fall. Wesolowski brings in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Friday back to Sturm. Now to Hankins. Hankins looking for Wesolowski. Hits her. Wesolowski layup attempt is good. So Worcester's lead is just cut to within 1. Worcester leads 20-19 over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. 6:25 remaining in the second.
Hankins able to recognize that size difference Wesolowski had down low. Took advantage of it.
Sturdivant top of the key 3. Can't get it to fall. It's going to be rebounded by Wooster. Claw working versus Clara Page Miller. Clara Page Miller's able to block it there for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets on the break. Clara Page Miller once again trying to hit Wesolowski, but it's going to be poked away by Wooster. Emily Webb now to Sturdivant. Sturdivant top of the key. 3. Won't go. So Emily Webb was working for the rebound there. But they're going to call the Yellow Jackets for a foul. So Wooster will retain possession.
It's going to be a loose ball foul on Calista Friday. Going to be her second of the game. Her first, rather.
Sturdivant the inbound. Quick pass in to Parsons. Parsons' first shot of the game won't fall. So Clara Page Miller will inbound for the Yellow Jackets. As Lynx Lander is just subbed in the game for the Worcester Fighting Scots, coming in place for Ace Sturdivant. Friday working it at the top of the key. Passes it over to Sturm. Sturm now to Hankins. Hankins bounce pass in to Wesolowski. Wesolowski looking for Clara Page Miller. Miller with the fighting attempt there on the ground. Is able to draw the foul there on Kylie Parsons.
Off the off-ball screen, Clara Page Miller set for Jaden Sturm on the left wing. Ended up getting open.
Speaking of Sturm, her shot won't go. Wesolowski able to bring in the rebound. Friday has it at the left wing. Friday back to Hankins. Hankins to Wesolowski. Wesolowski from just about the free throw line. Can't get it to fall. Be brought in by Hankins. Hankins to Friday. Friday mid-range jumper gets it to fall. So Yellow Jackets have taken the lead 21-20. 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter of play. On the other end, it's going to be Dean. Dean can't get the shot to go. Hankins on the brink for the Yellow Jackets. She hits Friday. Friday working for Steen. Now to Clara Page Miller in the post. She's able to hit Wesolowski. Wesolowski hook shot, can't get it to fall. Friday's able to bring in the rebound. Friday, Clara Page Miller can't get it to fall. So it'll be Riccatelli on the other end working versus Hankins. Riccatelli now off to Dean. Dean three-pointer attempt won't fall. So Waynesburg getting the possession there is last touched by Kylie Parsons. As we have immediate timeout. So the Yellow Jackets now have the 21-20 lead over Wooster.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
1 for 2 up to this point in this game, and simplifying the game is key for Waynesburg, taking away those open looks.
Key component for the Yellow Jackets on that 9-3 run was Ace Sturdivant going down. She would eventually come back into the game, but Waynesburg was able to take advantage with one of Worcester's leading scorer missing. So Friday has it now for the Yellow Jackets. She's going to hit McFadden at the top of the key. McFadden back to Friday. Friday now to Wesolowski in the post. Wesolowski can't get the layup to fall. It's going to be brought in by Kylie Parsons. So Dean now to Parsons. Parsons' shot is blocked by Wesolowski. Friday bring it up the court for the Yellow Jackets. Emily Webb will be defending. Friday hits it to Clara Page Miller. Miller back to Friday. Friday was able to hit Clara Page Miller, but Wooster will take possession.
Waynesburg looked for that open look again. on that off-ball screen from Claire Page Miller, the pick and pop. Wasn't able to get her shot off in time, and then right before that second one, whistle was blown.
So Riccatelli will have it for the Wooster Fighting Scots. Riccatelli throwing it out to Dean. Dean's three-pointer shot won't go. Riccatelli was able to bring in the rebound. She's going to be fouled there on the play by Claire Page Miller. Miller's first foul of the game and Waynesburg's fourth total. Riccatelli will inbound for the Fighting Scots. Slander now back to Dean. Dean three-pointer shot won't fall. It's going to be brought in by Webb. Sturm was able to poke a hand on it and get it to fall out of bounds, but they're going to say Sturm touched it last. So Emily Webb will look over options for the Fighting Scots. She hits Riccatelli. Riccatelli working versus McFadden. Gets a screen from Beatty. Riccatelli using the screen to her advantage. Floater won't fall. Dayton brings in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Dayton couldn't get a clean pass as Friday gets a steal for the Yellow Jackets. She hits Jaden Sturm. Sturm back to Friday. Friday looking for Dayton. She hits Dayton in the post. Dayton floater gets it to fall.
I like right after the initial steal by Friday, Jaden Sturm had a semi-open look, but understand that that three-pointer wasn't the one you needed. Instead, slowed the game down, gave it inside. Madison Dayton able to do what she does best, that mid-range inside the paint look.
So Riccatelli will have it at the top of the key. She hits Lander. Lander working versus McFadden. Claire Page Miller was able to get a hand on it, but they're going to call Lander on the travel. So Waynesburg will retake possession as Claire Page Miller will go to the bench as Liv Ammons has been entered for her. So Friday throws it over to Hankins. Sturm top of the key, back to Hankins. Gets a screen from Sturm, using the screen to her advantage. Layup won't fall. Be Wooster on the break. Riccatelli looking over options. She hits Lander wide open in the post. Lander can't get it to fall. Dayton's able to bring in the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Friday gets a screen from Ammons. Friday back to Ammons. Ammons working versus clock. Ammons floater won't get it to fall. She's going to be called there for the offensive foul as Lynx Lander was able to draw the charge.
On the other end, it was, prior to that Waynesburg possession, it was Liv Ammons with the last second defense on Lander that possibly caused her to rush, and ball went off the high glass, off the front of the rim. Go to the other end. Ammons, after the help defense, gets a charging foul.
So Ace Sturdivant has now just re-entered the game for the Wooster Fighting Scots, coming in for Erica Beatty. Sturdivant on the other end working versus Friday. And they're going to call her with the travel there. Sturdivant goes right back to the bench. So Friday will bring it up the court for the Yellow Jackets. Friday hits Hankins at the top of the key. Hankins now pass it off to Dayton. Dayton working the post, but they're going to get Erica Beatty on the foul. Yellow Jackets still haven't shot a free throw despite numerous amount of fouls. Hankins will have it for the Yellow Jackets. Riccatelli with tight defense on her. Hankins driving, right hand layup, won't get it to fall. Dayton brings in the rebound, and she's able to clean it up for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets.
Dayton all over the floor right now, working that inside, making that paint her own.
So Lander is able to hit Webb at the top of the key. Webb working versus Sturm. Sturm's shot is going to be blocked. As Lander's able to bring in the rebound and get the layup to fall. 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Yellow Jackets lead by 3, 25-22. Yellow Jackets leading over the Wooster Fighting Scots. Friday is able to hit Hankins. Hankins now pass into Dayton. Dayton's layup attempt is good. He's stolen away by Liv Ammons. Liv Ammons with the pivot there. Looks like she took a hard fall there to the ground. It's not what you hope for the Yellow Jackets, as Ammons missed all last season with an ACL tear.
Hey, you can't tell what looks like is hurting from up here. Can't tell if she's holding the knee and she lays on her back now, but you look at Mia Hankins down in the corner, being able to find Madison Dayton, able to feed the hot hand, understanding the rule of give the player the ball when they should have the ball. Madison Dayton making consecutive buckets down low, has been on a tear in this second quarter, 10 second quarter points, currently leads scoring in the whole game. As you look here, Mia Hankins goes up with the right, rebounded Dayton, and she's just all over the place on the boards, offensively and defensively. And then, like I said, making that paying her home as Liv Ammons hobbles up and needing help off by Coach Sam Jones and company.
Sam Jones now in his 17th season as head coach for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. We mentioned that 2010-2011 season. That's been his best coaching season as a whole, as Waynesburg finished that year 21-9, winning the ECAC South title with the 68-62 win over Catholic.
And in that season, Waynesburg started 6-0, and that sparked 8 years of consecutive winning seasons from 2010 to 2018 for Coach Jones and the Yellow Jackets.
So Hankins will have it at the buzzer. Floater won't fall, and that's how the half will wrap up. So the Yellow Jackets hold the 5-point lead over the Wooster Fighting Scots, 27-22. As we just saw, Mia Hankins' last-second floater attempt won't get it to fall. So if you're the Yellow Jackets, we're able to go on a 9-3 run before that timeout was called, and then they were able to keep things going there for the Yellow Jackets, now having the 5-point lead going into halftime.
Yeah, it was a slow start for Waynesburg, turned into learning from your mistakes. Waynesburg, it seems like everything that I critiqued on initially, too many mistakes, playing sloppy, not understanding the rules of making the game simple. That's what they did in the second quarter, complete makeover. And this was the pass I was talking about earlier.
Halftime, Waynesburg 27, Wooster Fighting Squats 22.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water. Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Any players to watch for the second half for Waynesburg side now? Going into that bugaboo quarter, like you mentioned, the third quarter.
I mean, the biggest thing is Maddie Dayton. She has not been able to start yet this season. Those first two games, we didn't see her at all, but in that third game against Carlo, we were able to see her a little bit. And in this game, we're seeing her a lot more. She's been developing a lot very well, especially in this game. We're continuing to see her put the buckets up, get those down and in, get those 2 points, but then also continuing to rebound, get the ball back from the Wooster offense and continue to get Waynesburg down into their scoring positions.
Now for Wooster, they had a good first quarter, struggled in the second quarter. What would you like to see from them?
I think from Richatelli, I mean, we got to see more passing around. We got to see a little bit more shooting. They've been just trying to get it, force it down into the paint, and that's what's caused them a lot of turnovers that we saw from this Waynesburg defense. So looking to pass the ball a little bit more, I think, is what they need to do.
One thing I thought Wooster did well in that first half, or at least the first quarter, was passing the ball down low. I thought Waynesburg did a lot better job at defending that. Sam Jones must have said something between the quarters because Tori Wesolowski, McFadden, Friday, they all had really key turnovers in that second half.
Yeah, and definitely. And
second quarter.
Yeah, second quarter. And in that second quarter, there was a loss. Right now, we don't know any information, but Liv Amons went down with about 1 second left to go. We'll see what her condition is looking like later on. Hopefully, to get her back in the game would be a key add, but if they can't, Maddie Dayton coming in, Tori Wesolowski being those big down in the middle. That's going to help them a lot, especially with that defense, with passing down into the paint.
Waynesburg's bench has contributed over half of their points so far. They were a big factor in that game against Carlo on Friday. Joe, any final thoughts before we lead in the rest of halftime here?
That's been the big consistency, is going in those to those bench points, going to Callista Friday, looking at Clara Page Miller, who's been doing great so far with that offense. But the bench has been where we've thrived. We have the leadership from the starters in Mia Hankins, but the bench points are continuing to press this team as they have in these past 3 games.
Some other stats to be aware of. Waynesburg shot 22% from the field in the first quarter, 50% from the field in the second quarter. That'll do it from us here inside the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse, the Waynesburg University Sports Network halftime show. Anthony DeFilippo, Joe Cirillo, Benicio DeFalco, and Dean Chaser will continue to have the call for the second half, and if Waynesburg wins, we'll be right here for your post-game interview. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the print collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm Mia Hankins, and welcome to Buell Hall, home of Waynesburg University's Department of Communication.
Gotcha.
Hey, what are you doing? We're on in 30 seconds. bit?
Just around.
Okay.
Fading up to Tyler and Mia in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mia Hinkins.
And I'm Tyler Aaron, and welcome
to Jacket Sports Weekly.
Welcome back to the Waynesburg University Sports Network from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania at the Rudy Marissa Fieldhouse. It is the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets leading the Wooster Fighting Scott 27-22. As we take a look at some of our leading scorers, we have Madison Dayton in front of the Waynesburg Pack with 12 points. And for Wooster, it's going to be Ace Sturdivant with 7 points. Benny, now we take a few looks at some keys to what changed for Waynesburg. It was 17-10 in the first quarter, and it's 27-22 now. I'd say a big part of that is shooting, going from 20% shooting from the field in the first quarter to then 8 of 16 in the second quarter.
That was a big contributor there, and it kind of came down to just the shot selection. They weren't taking shots from deep. They were kind of looking for the post more, and you know, when you're shooting it in the post closer to the rim, you're going to get a higher percentage of shots. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the half, we see Liv Ammons getting the key block there for the Yellow Jackets. And then Claire Page Miller again. Yellow Jackets currently, today they have 3 blocks. We see Kalista Friday getting the wide open mid-range shot. And then on the other end, Wesolowski poking it away for Waynesburg's 3rd block as mentioned. And then Friday just finding Dayton in the post. Get that layup to go. As mentioned, Dayton is the leading scorer currently for the Yellow Jackets.
And something else you have to take into account, we've said it a few times throughout the broadcast, 41% from beyond the arc for Waynesburg. Not tonight. Under 8% from behind the three-point line so far, a mere 1 of 13 for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. They do have the lead. They have been able to utilize the down lows. Moorbacher, Wesolowski, Clara Page Miller, Dayton have been coming up big without that three-point efficiency. So as we get set to bounce the ball in for the start of the 3rd quarter, it's Friday with a 5-point lead for Waynesburg. Friday has McFadden. It's Dayton. Dayton, as mentioned, with 12 points, gets blocked early. Pushing it up the court. Left wing, it's Webb. There's it across Riccatelli. Sturdivant. Trying to find some room. Biondi sets an off-ball screen for Sturdivant. Sturdivant switches position. She's now down low. Top of the key, it's Clock. Down low, Biondi won't go. McFadden on the rebound. Pushing it ahead with 45 seconds, passing off this 3rd quarter clock. It's Friday with a left elbow shot. McFadden's rebound is up and under the rim on an Aaron putback attempt. Sturdivant slowing it down for Wooster. Clock. At the top, Riccatelli, quarterback in the offense. Riccatelli past the free throw line, goes to work on Moorbacher. Biondi doesn't even have to jump. Gets the second chance. Rebound on McFadden, and she's going to go to the line.
Biondi just using her height to an advantage there. She sits at 6'2". She's working versus the 5'3" McFadden there.
Ella Biondi out of Mentor, Ohio. Classical Studies and Archaeology major. Up to this point in the game, no points on the board for Biondi. Looking for her 1st and 2nd on these 2 free throw attempts. Her 1st is right through, not a doubt about it. 27-23 now, Waynesburg leads.
Biondi being one of the unsung heroes in this Wooster offense. She averages 13 points per game, as the main focal points being Riccatelli and Sturdivant, as they both average 19.
Biondi's 2nd off the short rim, rebounded Friday. Now it's Hankins running the 1 spot. Friday on the left wing, looking for Dayton down lows, matched by Biondi. Dayton pull up mid-range again. Madison Dayton. She gets that one to fall, and she remains perfect. 7 of 7 from the field.
Don't see that
points.
too often from Madison Dayton. She usually works the post there, but Nice to see her get the mid-range jumper to fall.
Dayton double teaming from behind on Sturdivant. It's going to be poked. And Biondi loses control after the help defense of Dayton. Waynesburg possession, 29-23. Just under 2 minutes have passed in this third quarter. Hankins on the right wing. Takes it left. Dayton looks. Friday from behind the three-point line has an open look floater. And one! Callista Friday! Moving right to left. Floating it up with the right. And Ellerly Clark is going to be called for the foul, setting Friday to the line for a three-point opportunity.
Here, Friday driving. Is able to get Clark there on the foul, and Friday's made a career here for the Yellow Jackets with that floater game. We saw her have a spinning floater to force overtime last game versus Carlo.
Sturdivant now. Friday has 7 points after that and one free throw. Sturdivant, deep two is good. Her toe was on the line. Three's not gifted. 32-25 now. Hankins in the corner. Tries to answer with her own three. Dayton and Biondi fight for it. It's Moorbacher that comes up with it. Dayton from the mid-range. Short shot, gets her own rebound. McFadden now. Euro step, gets fouled. Her glasses fall off. And it's Biondi who meets her. Right in front of the circle underneath the rim. And McFadden's gonna go to the line, looking for her third and fourth points of the night.
Yeah, they're gonna get Ella Biondi there. Just a little bit too much force there. We're trying to get the block on Karen McFadden. She anticipated it. As mentioned again, Biondi does have the 9-inch advantage over McFadden.
McFadden, career record for points at her high school. Fairport Harding High School had 1,900 points, 329 career three-pointers. Gets both of those free throws to go. 2 of 2 on the night from the free throw line is McFadden. It's 2 of 2 coming into this game. Now 4 of 4. It's Webb. Webb, stop, pull, hands it off. That's gonna fall. Erica Beatty, her first basket of the game. Friday to Hankins in the corner. Friday looking for Dayton, finds Dayton off the high glass a little long. It's Beatty with the rebound. It's Madison Dayton after starting 7 for 7, missed her last 2 shots. Sturdivant goes in and Dayton gets called for the foul. It's gonna be a block and 1.
Here now Sturdivant working versus Dayton the whole way, gets the bump, gets the shot to go, and falls. She has a chance here to make it 3 at the line.
Sturdivant, the leading scorer in this game last year with 18, misses that one. She has 11 points on the night. Looking for her 12th was incorrect. Friday making a move. Hankins, left wing 3, wide open, a little long, goes off the high rim. Gonna be called Waynesburg possession. Gonna be a foul from across the way. Eric Pethel is gonna gift the ball to Wooster. 34-29, Waynesburg leads Wooster. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's the leading scorer for Wooster, Ace Sturdivant. The way that's going to be out of bounds. Waynesburg possession the other way. The whistle from Pethel didn't matter. Waynesburg gets the ball back immediately. Friday trying to use speed past Webb. Slows it down. Dayton to Moorbacher on the left block. Spin move inside off the glass and rim. Dayton tries giving it to Friday. It's going to roll off a Wooster defender. It was Beatty and Webb that were there. Not sure which arm it hit off of. Either way, Friday inbounds the ball below the rim. Hits it off the back of a defender. Friday goes up. after a cheeky inbound. Not much room. However, the layup was no good. Sturdivant goes to work on Dayton. It's McFadden. Has Dayton. Gets it to Hankins. Catch and shoot. No good off the back rim. Friday rebound. Dayton. Little jump shot about 8 to 9 feet. Falls right through. Madison Dayton has 16. Waynesburg leads by 7.
Madison Dayton doing it all for the Yellow Jackets. This quarter, we just saw the possession before the ball was bouncing out of bounds. She was able to grab in the rebound and then hit it off of Wooster, fighting Scott to take possession there. And then we just see her hitting the mid-range shot that was wide open.
Webb now works on the script of Waynesburg University, defended by Hankins. Shot from the free throw line. It's off the back rim, moves right, rebounded. Waynesburg pushing it. Friday, wide open three, stops pop. Would rather give it to McFadden off the back rim. Moorbacher with the rebound. Foul's going to be called on Mackenzie Riccatelli, the 5'6" freshman. Averages 19 points per game. 12 rebounds does Riccatelli. So we get a media timeout here.
So Waynesburg so far in this half, they kind of been going to what we've been used to all season long, trying to attack the three. They haven't gone after the post too much in this half. And with that last three-pointer miss, they are shooting 1 of 17 from the three-point range to this point. We mentioned in the pregame they led the President's Athletic Conference entering this one. Only able to make 1 shot so far on 17 attempts. Just not the winning formula for the Yellow Jackets, but things are working for them as they currently have the 7-point lead over the Wooster Fighting Scots.
Yeah, 36-29 with just under 5 minutes playing in this third period. In Waynesburg, Pennsylvania at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse, you're watching a presentation of the women's basketball teams at Waynesburg University and College of Wooster here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network as we get back to action. Synchronized claps in the crowd after Miley Cyrus plays it loud on the speaker. A little bit confusion at the scorer's table. Still 440. Coach Jones talks to his players. And first-year head coach Olivia Bajensin. Her first day was August 26, 2024, so just barely, not even 3 months ago, did head coach Bajensin join this team. Prior to her time at Wooster, 3 years at Muskingum. She was in charge of the recruiting, the game prep, the travel logistics, and the game strategy. Prior to that, as a grad assistant, she was at Malone University. She was a second team All-Ohio Athletic Conference as a senior at Muskingum. She was a 3-year captain and a 1,000-point scorer.
First year now was the Wooster Fighting Scots, and she's done a phenomenal job, to be honest, in the first couple games. The first game of the season coming to Carlo, they just came up 5 points short in that one, and then they got the 2 wins over the President's Athletic Conference schools, being Teal and Franciscan, and now have their record at 2-1. This is a team that she entered into at the start of this season. They were 6-20 overall last season, going 0-11 on the road, and 1-13 in the conference play. So far, so good for Olivia Bozingon.
If Wooster was in the President's Athletic Conference, they'd be first right now because there's only been 1 game in the President's Athletic Conference, a matchup between Bethany and Teal, a game that Bethany won. Worcester beat Teal and Franciscan already. As Friday takes a deep three from the right wing off the front rim, rolls out, Dayton gets the offensive rebound, falls to the knees. The foul is called. We'll wait for the number.
See Dayton's hustle once again there.
Block. Friday on the inbound. Chris Bonchowski. Bonchowski hands her the ball. Friday takes a deep 2, contested in the face of Mackenzie Riccatelli. It doesn't matter for Kara McFadden. her second bucket of the day.
For Waynesburg, that possession there just started with Madison Dayton on the screen, and it led to Karen McFadden getting the wide open jump shot.
On the right wing, it's Riccatelli. Bounce pass inside. The other way comes Waynesburg. That pass was intended for Kylie Parsons, a 6'2 sophomore. McFadden is the other way. Friday to Dayton. Dayton goes up with the right hand. 40-29, Waynesburg leads. Madison Dayton on fire, has nearly half of the Waynesburg points, 18 of them. It's Mia Hankins is going to be called for using too much elbow on defense.
Yeah,
two substitutions come in. Jaden Sturm and Aubrey Burns for Waynesburg.
Yeah, they're going to get Hankins there on the hand check.
And it's Ace Sturdivant, Ella Biondi. Thrown into Biondi, who just subbed in. Blocked by Borbacher. They're going to call a jump shot, or jump ball rather, not a jump shot. Possession gifted to Wooster. Ace Sturdivant on the inbound. Has some room, it's Biondi. Ella Dean on the right wing, gives it at the top of the key to Webb, and the pass goes through Biondi's hands. Now Waynesburg. That bounce pass deflected. Foul is called on Madison Dayton. It's going to be her third of the game. (40-29) with just over 3 minutes.
So with that foul, they'll send Dayton to the bench, and much needed rest if you're Madison Dayton. She's been flying around the court all game long.
Emily Webb out of Middletown, Ohio. Madison High School drills her first from the free throw line. Looking for her second attempt to go in. It does not. Dayton, who subbed out, actually has a new career high of points in this game, 18. Her previous was 16. But she just subbed out with 3 fouls. 40-30, Waynesburg leads. Clara Page Miller off the high glass. Trying to get a favorable bounce.
About to say, I saw Moorbacher working for it there. She's got to be careful. As you mentioned, she has 3 early fouls in this one. But they're going to get...
That was going to be on Jaden Sturm.
Get Sturm on the foul there.
Ella Biondi goes to the line now as they enter the bonus, does Wooster. Biondi's first is no good in the first half. Wooster shot 4 of 10 from the free throw line. That second one by Biondi is Aaron. So 0 for 2. Biondi goes. Wooster maintains possession after the offensive rebound. Sturdivant has 11 in this game, looking for 13, kicks it out. Riccatelli from the corner, it's good. Wooster trails by 7 now. After a 3 from Mackenzie Riccatelli. It's her first 3 points of the game. Karen McFadden looking to answer off the short rim. Clara Page Miller tries to fight with Beatty. Beatty pushes it. It's going to be called a travel. Erica Beatty tried to push pace, get the ball into the right wing corner for an open look. 5'8" junior out of Spencerport, New York. Turns it over. Now it's McFadden. McFadden, wide open 3. Bank in, good. Looked to be long initially. Hit the back of the glass and right through. Waynesburg gains back their double-digit lead after a Karen McFadden 3. Sturdivant. Riccatelli, spin move on Burns. Trying to bounce pass in to Biondi. Goes through the legs. Now it's Burns. Slows it down, hands it to McFadden. She launches one off the high rim. Kind of looked to rush that shot. The other way comes Wooster. It's Riccatelli with the hop, step, and the score.
One thing
inside.
Worcester's done great all game long is we saw it there. Ace Sturdivant was able to grab the rebound. They immediately look up court, and that's what led to the Riccatelli open layup.
Screen from Clara Page Miller. Gets the mismatch she wanted. Working in on Riccatelli. Still can't get that one to fall. Biondi, Riccatelli. Wooster has numbers from the right wing. Off the front of the rim, it's Ella Dean. Rebound Waynesburg. Karen McFadden wanting to push it up court. Picks up the ball for about 0.1 tenth of a second. Right near, gonna get called for a travel every time. They call a double dribble or a travel there, Benny?
Yeah, they're gonna get McFadden on the travel there, and they're gonna send her into the bench, and being subbed in for McFadden is gonna be Calista Friday. These two players
Start
kind of rotated for each other all season.
With the left hand, good. Her 13th of the night. 40 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. It's Macy Justice. Macy Justice has an open look. Finds Moorbacher down low. Short sticks it. Throws it up the court. Clara Page Miller fighting for the loose ball. It's going to be a jump ball gifted. Possession handed to Waynesburg. 32 seconds left now in the third quarter. Waynesburg leads by 6. Wooster has done a great job fighting back into this game. In a low-scoring game, especially from the Waynesburg side of things, as they average 83 points per game. Coming into this one, only 43 with 30 seconds left in the third. 6-point lead Waynesburg has on Wooster. Friday going in on Webb, gets blocked by Biondi. Biondi pushes it up to Riccatelli, works in on Burns, the one-on-one. Riccatelli's shot rolls off the front rim, rebounded Biondi. You're gonna have another jump ball. Moorbacher ends up coming away with it. But the whistles were blown prior to possession. So Wooster now with Sturdivant inbounding, 16 seconds left, trail by 6.
That's twice now by Moorbacher. It seems like those 3 fouls have not phased her. She's been trying to work the post and trying to get a last-second strip on those rebounds by Wooster.
8 seconds, Sturdivant working right. Sturdivant with the right-handed layup and the roll. It's good. 3 seconds. Waynesburg got to work quick if they want a last shot. Friday from beyond half court. Kind of close. It got there, had the distance, but off the rim to the left, and the last-second layup from Ace Sturdivant and her 15 points bring Wooster within 4 heading into the fourth quarter.
2 crucial points for the Yellow Jackets in that quarter. Came down to Riccatelli on the other end for Wooster in that 3, and then Waynesburg was able to respond right away with Karen McFadden on the other end working versus Riccatelli. See McFadden gets the pump fake on Riccatelli. All defenders fell back, and she was able to drain the wide open 3.
43-39 heading into the fourth quarter, but Waynesburg's football season was ended, and they no longer had the chance of being eligible for a bowl game as they were defeated by the Geneva Golden Tornadoes 33-6 going into that game. Both teams were 4-5, and whichever team finished 5-5 would then be bowl eligible.
And with that game, Brennan Boron was named the Waynesburg Athlete of the Week after he had 17 tackles in 33-6 loss versus Geneva. And with that 17 tackles, put him over 200 career tackles with his time here at Waynesburg.
Yeah, Brennan Boron wasn't the only one flying on that field on Saturday. I understand it was a blowout game from the Geneva point of things, but Jemuel Cypress also double-digit tackler. Zane Coley did his thing, about 110 yards, finished the season with just under 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. But as we get ready to resume action in the fourth quarter, Waynesburg University leads College of Wooster 43-39. Friday gets slightly double-teamed. Macy Justice going to work on Webb, rolls with the left. Biondi has the rebound, plays it up high, has the height advantage on Friday. Friday has no chance of taking that ball from Ella Biondi. It's Webb at the top of the key. Sturdivant works in on Friday. Friday just gives it a kick, no violation. However, the ball remains in Wooster possession. Now it'll be Lynch Lander subbing in for Erica Beatty. Erica Beatty, 5'8" junior. Lynch Lander, 5'6" freshman. Had 2 points all year coming into this game. Has 4 currently. Sturdivant. Wide open look off the high glass. It's going to be a blocking foul called on Clara Page Miller. That's going to send Ellerly Clock to the line. Clock, the 5'9" freshman, averages 5 points per game, about an assist and a half and a rebound and a half. Clock out of LaGrange, Kentucky, Oldham County High School, makes her first one. It's going to be her 6th point on the day, looking for 6 and 7. The 7-point attempt is good. Ella Clock now has 7. Cuts Waynesburg's lead in half. They lead by 2. Macy Justice has Moorbacher. Moorbacher spinning on Biondi, trying to work around her. Clara Page Miller goes up with the left after the offensive board. 45-41. Just a minute has passed now into this fourth quarter. 4-point lead for Waynesburg. Sturdivant going to work on Friday. Layup too strong. Waynesburg has numbers. Friday tries to go to work on Clock, but it's going to be a charge called, and I believe that was the right call.
See here, Callista Friday driving into the paint. Just gave a little bit too much of a push. Is able trying to get separation there for the floater. They're going to call her there on the charge.
45-41, Waynesburg leads Wooster. Sturdivant pushing it up the court. She passes the timeline. Looking on the left elbow. Trying to avoid the screen, Callista Friday. As she looks to the bench for a replacement. Hobbling off the court with a slight limp.
Yeah, Friday was just trying to run over there, and she got tied up with Ella Biondi.
Looks like she was holding her left hip area as she headed off. But to the power of her own will did Friday. Lander. Sturdivant. Right side, baseline. Sturdivant in the corner. Riccatelli hits the top of the glass and never really stood a chance from the corner as McFadden has it on the right wing. It's poked, but Moorbacher maintains possession for Waynesburg. Down low, Wesolowski. Wesolowski with the one-hand high overhook. Rebounded Clock. It's Clock. Moving it right. Riccatelli. Sturdivant. Down 4 is Wooster. Lander cutting inside. Has a look. It's Wesolowski with the block. Aubrey Burns moving it across the timeline. She stays. Slows it down. Wide open look. Kara McFadden off the back of the rim. Hankins and Riccatelli fight for it. Riccatelli moving with pace up the court. Timeout, Wooster. 30-second timeout. As Waynesburg had the defensive numbers. No open looks. And it seems as if first-year coach Bojensen wanted to slow it down, gives her team a little breather. So with 7:33 left in the fourth quarter, it's Waynesburg 45, Wooster 41. Our leading scorers in this game. It's 8.
11.
Yeah, Ella Biondi being 6'2", just even when she gets the rebound, she holds the ball high with tough grip. When players like Friday and McFadden tried to fight for it earlier, there stood really no chance. This one inbounded to Sturdivant. Trailing by 4. In the fourth quarter of this out-of-conference matchup. North Coast Athletic Conference is where Wooster resides. Sturdivant working the body on McFadden. Short ends the layup. Burns throws it over McFadden. McFadden had a look, slows it down. Moorbacher now left wing inside. Wesolowski spins with the right shoulder, tries to get her off her. Moorbacher controlled rebound. Wide open jumper from McFadden. The 13-footer is good. Kara McFadden finds herself her 11th points, leaking into double digits. Averaging 14 points on the season is McFadden. It's clock. Sturdivant. Now Riccatelli. Lander with 6 on the shot clock, throws up a 3, it's good. Cuts the lead in half, 47-44 with 6:20 remaining. Lynx Lander, her 7th points of the game after that three-pointer. McFadden's pass over the head of Wesolowski. Completely new look here for Wooster. 3 subs, it's Ella Biondi, Emily Webb. Big 3 from Lander. Cuts the lead in half. Sorry to cut you off there, Benny. Down 3, Sturdivant pushing it up the court. Sturdivant averages 31 minutes per game, trying to give it down low to Riccatelli. Gives it back to Sturdivant after a loose ball. Wooster maintained possession. Moorbacher strips it out of the hands of Dean. The other way, Moorbacher on Sturdivant, and 1! Or did they call it on the floor? Wait to see the call. They called a blocking foul. Wait to see if they counted the bucket.
See here, Jules Moorbacher working defensively. She's able to strip it away, and then on the other end, looks over options, sees no one's there, and says, I'm going to take it myself.
So the and one opportunity for Moorbacher is no good. Moorbacher, efficient free throw shooter up to this point in the early going, 77% free throw. Missed that one. 49-44, Waynesburg leads. 2-possession game. Sturdivant. Circles in, spin move on McFadden. Rebound Biondi, and 1. She answers with her own. Ella Biondi.
See here, Biondi doesn't even really get a jump on Dayton, just had the positioning on her. Is able to get the rebound and put it back right away.
Madison Dayton going to be subbed out of the game after being handed her 4th foul. Ella Biondi. Her and one opportunity is in and out. The other way comes Waynesburg. Aubrey Burns, right wing, thinks about it. Moorbacher trying to force feed Wesolowski down low. The other way is Wooster, but through the hands of Dean. Waynesburg maintains possession in the offensive end. Burns tries to force a ball. And Waynesburg gets it right back. Hankins, Moorbacher to McFadden. Floater, wide right. Burns was wide open in the bottom corner. Riccatelli layup all alone. It's a 1-possession game with just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Wooster 2-1 coming into today. Waynesburg 3-0, their best start since the 2010 and 2011 season. Waynesburg has won 5 in a row dating back to last season as McFadden, her 14-footer's good. 51-48. Sturdivant. Right wing side. It's Dean. Dean wide open, down low is Webb, blocked by Moorbacher, trying to throw it off. Moorbacher is Webb. Waynesburg the other way. McFadden Moorbacher, wide open three, left wing. Off wide and long. As Hankins hits the ball out of Biondi's hands.
Moorbacher now in her second season. That was her first three-point attempt of her career.
They're going to call a push foul. Off ball. And with just above 4 minutes left in this game, it's a one-possession game after all was said and done.
See, they're looking for Webb in the post. Moorbacher blocks it and then is able to stay with it as Webb tried to throw it off Moorbacher, but Moorbacher kept her hands ready and set. Was able to take possession for the Yellow Jackets.
A lot of back and forth action, especially at midcourt there for about a good 20 seconds. Ball went back and forth between each team. Neither team had true possession. And then a wide open look, or what seemed to be a wide open look from Emily Webb, gifted to her by Ella Dean. It was blocked by Moorbacher, and that leads us to the point where we are now.
We talked about the two offenses throughout this game, but to this point, it's been all about the defenses for both teams. As Waynesburg coming into this one, they averaged 83 points per game. They only have 51, and then on Wooster's side of things, coming into this one, they averaged 69 points per game, and they only have 48.
Yeah, and Waynesburg's three-point numbers have not been there. Not been there whatsoever. 41% coming into this game, just haven't been able to get it done. And after the loose ball foul on the offensive end of Waynesburg, sends Ace Sturdivant to the line. She has 15 points up to this point, 83% free throw shooter coming into this one. That one is good. She is now 3 of 4 on the day. Trying to make it 4 of 5 and bring Wooster back within 1. So she gets her 16th, looking for her 17th. Sturdivant, no doubt about it. 1-point game. Friday, McFadden, Hankins. Moorbacher working down low, spin move through 2 defenders. Gets blocked out to Wesolowski. Her jumper's short. Moorbacher gets the rebound. Another one from Moorbacher. She kicks it out to Friday, to McFadden. Moorbacher down low. Wesolowski wide open look. Jules Moorbacher. The assists, 3 offensive rebounds, and a Tori Wesolowski layup. Waynesburg still has the lead. 1 possession game, it remains. 3:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wooster has not had the lead since the 2nd quarter. The 1-point margin was the closest they've been to tying it. Biondi works on Wesolowski. Throws it over the hoop. Friday pushing it up to McFadden. McFadden trying to work baseline. Has Friday. Chucks it across to Hankins, who makes a miraculous play to keep it in. Moorbacher. 13 on the shot clock. 2:45 left in the 4th quarter. Friday with a hesitation step. Works in on Dean. 2-possession game. 2:35 left in the 4th quarter. Trying to make it 4-0 for the first time since 2010. Sturdivant takes it with 2. Wesolowski and Biondi fight for the rebound. Gifted to Wooster, his possession. Tellerly Clock, who checks in for Ella Dean.
We wondered who would step up in this Waynesburg defense, and Tori Wesolowski, she's going to go to the bench now, but she's done a great job working on Biondi ever since she came back into the game.
Jaden Sturm, who we haven't seen much of in this second half, checks in for Wesolowski. It's Clock. Works in on Friday. Stops with the left hand, but her pivot foot moved. It slid. That's where the travel is going to be called. And Waynesburg has the ball with 2:11 left in the 4th quarter. Friday at the timeline with a 2-possession lead. Looking to go 4-0. McFadden works on Moorbacher. Works on Webb with the Moorbacher screen, rather. Stop, pop, inside jumper, a little long. Wooster the other way. Karen McFadden with about the 17-footer is no good. In the corner, wide open look clock. Air ball over the rim. Hankins fights for the rebound on Biondi, pokes it. It will remain Wooster possession.
Great effort there by Mia Hankins, despite her foot being out of bounds, just hustling over. And that seems to be Sam Jones' big message to this team going into halftime was, we're gonna out-hustle the Wooster Fighting Scots.
Checking in for Wooster was Erica Beatty for Emily Webb. On the right side is Riccatelli. Has an open look on the baseline. Short layup. And fouls Friday at the logo. Waynesburg has not yet reached the bonus. As Riccatelli, after not getting all that she wanted on the layup attempt, meets Friday at half court with contact and is given a foul. It's Hankins now with Moorbacher at the top of the key. Handed to McFadden. Friday, hesitation move, works on three defenders, goes up on all three. As that defense was collapsed quick. Moving it up ahead is Sturdivant to Riccatelli on the right wing side. And a timeout from Bajensen. 30-second timeout with under 1 minute remaining in this fourth period, Benny.
Yeah, one of the big factors in this fourth quarter, and honestly the second half overall, has been Jules Moorbacher and her hustle. She's got her rebounding up to 14 on the day. And then coming into this one, she was a 5-point per game scorer on the season, but also averaged 10 rebounds. So her surpassing that point in this one by just 4 rebounds.
Yeah, Moorbacher, especially on that one possession, 3 offensive rebounds, ended up getting confused the Wooster defense at the top of the arc with a Kara McFadden pump fake that then caused a pass down low to Moorbacher, left a wide open misassignment from Tori Wesolowski and an easy layup. And that leads us to this point where Waynesburg leads Wooster by 5 with 58 seconds remaining. Waynesburg 3-0 for the first time in over 12 years. Riccatelli takes a step back 3, it's good! Riccatelli from downtown cuts the lead to 2. 40 seconds remain, and Coach Sam Jones elects to use one of his timeouts. Mackenzie Riccatelli, averaging 19 points per game, 12 rebounds per game coming into this one as a 5'6" freshman. Yeah, I thought 12 rebounds was interesting.
See Riccatelli getting the screen there and just being able to use it to her advantage, knocking down the clutch 3 to put it within 2. And this Wooster team, they've made a name for themselves this season from coming from behind. As the loss to Carla, they ended up losing by 5, but they were down 17 at one point in that one before bringing it in within 1. And then at that point, they were kind of just in foul trouble, being forced to foul. So that loss, losing by 5, but in reality, it wasn't that big of a loss. So if they were able to hit some shots down the line, it would have been a lot closer.
A possession here for a little bit of cushion from Waynesburg would be substantial. With 35 seconds left, 17 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. It's Friday at the free throw line. Gives it to Moorbacher. Down low, working on beyond. He gets the offensive board. It's Sturm with a wide open look. It's good. 57-53, Jules Moorbacher. One more time. Here's your offensive rebound. I'll get it for you every time you need it seems like, especially in this waning moments.
We see there Jaden Sturm with the clutch layup on her birthday. So happy birthday to Jaden Sturm. She's looking to clean things up for the Yellow Jackets.
57-53, Waynesburg with 26 seconds left over the College of Wooster. Wooster located in northeastern Ohio. Just to give you some landmark points, it's 50 miles from Cleveland, 30 miles southwest of Akron, and about 3 hours from Waynesburg.
It's great discipline there by the Wooster defense. I know they allowed the Jaden Sturm layup, but a couple of players could have fouled there. With the game on the line, they knew better.
Dangerous inbound. Almost poked free by Friday. 20 seconds left. Wooster has to work quick. They're down 4. Riccatelli trying to find an open man. Sturdivant works on Hankins. Uses the body. Less than 10 seconds. 57-55. Coach Jones, another timeout. 30-second timeout. As Ace Sturdivant, realizing she had the mismatch on Mia Hankins, 5'1" Mia Hankins, Ace Sturdivant, 5'9" sophomore. We mentioned Hankins' defense, but it's not much you could do when you get caught on a crossover move, then have to find yourself working back. And just effective use of the body from Sturdivant, who has 19 points today, came into this one averaging 19.7 points, so we'll call it 20, with 5 assists and 6 rebounds per game. Sturdivant had the most three-pointers in a career at her high school in Clearwater, Florida, a sports medicine major. Hankins from Morgantown High School was the OVAC MVP player of that championship game her senior year. Morgantown High girls basketball team went on to win the state championship in Hankins' senior year. So as we go back to the court with under 10 seconds left, Waynesburg leads Wooster by 2.
So if you're the Yellow Jackets there, Sam Jones has kind of used that timeout to decide who he wants the ball to get the hands into, because Wooster will be forced to foul.
Another timeout by Coach Jones. No open looks for the Yellow Jackets. Hankins even realized that you see the look in the panic, the look of panic on her face from the far side. As she was inbounding, she realized, well, you guys got to get open. And no one was able to get into a position to do so. So a smart timeout from the uber experienced Coach Sam Jones in his 17th season as the leader of the Lady Yellow Jackets.
If you're the Yellow Jackets, that's kind of just a product of holding the lead this whole second half, it seems like, as they haven't been forced to use too many timeouts to this point.
Hankins will inbound again. Looking for Friday, Moorbacher, Sturm, or McFadden. It's McFadden she finds. Webb defending. Had to chase her like prey to foul her. That only cut off just under 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds.
Good job there by McFadden, just running off the clock. I know only 2 seconds there, but Webb was in her face right away, and McFadden was able to run away a little bit.
Forces it into Moorbacher. Sturm gathers it. Fouled Sturdivant. If Sturm wasn't there, that's dangerous, and Wooster has an opportunity, would have an opportunity to go the other way and tie this game, but the heads-up awareness by Jaden Sturm to grab the ball at the free throw line after Kara McFadden was being double-teamed. Trying to force it into Jules Moorbacher was Hankins. Now with 5.3 seconds left. One more successful inbound. It's McFadden running away from Webb, and Webb catches up to her again with less than 2 seconds left, running off the clock. Now 3.5.
If you're the Yellow Jackets, this is exactly who you want at the free throw line. In her career, has never missed at the line, currently shooting 100% from the line in her young career.
Some people would look at analytics and wonder if McFadden should make this second free throw. She makes the first one. She does make the first one. Some people would question it, but I'd say you take your second free throw, make sure this is a 2-possession game, and try to put this away. Looking for 4-0. McFadden up 4 points. 59-55. Waynesburg leads Wooster. With under 4 seconds left, Kara McFadden comes up clutch once more with her 15th points of the game.
If you're Wooster here, you're just looking for a quick play, trying to fire off a quick shot, hoping that it goes in, so you're able to draw a quick foul on the Yellow Jackets. And trying to get an extra possession here, but it's going to be hard for Wooster. But if I had to guess for the Yellow Jackets, I would be eyeing down A. Sturdivant. And Sturdivant in this one has 19 points.
No, you could almost smell it, 4-0. And we've said it over and over again. But this Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets basketball program has struggled over the past 5 or 6 years or so, give or take. And after an 0-3 start last year, actually an 0-9 start last year for this Waynesburg University woman Yellow Jackets team, they could look to turn the tides of a new season and start fresh with 4-0. So with under 4 seconds left, the inbound, Riccatelli, it's Webb. Riccatelli trying to take a three. It's short. 4-0 is here. It's inevitable. And Waynesburg defeats Wooster 59-55. Wooster falls to 2-2 after 2 wins in a row and dating back to last year. February 24th, Waynesburg defeats Wooster and gains their 6th win in a row of the 2024 year. Not season, because it could be either or, you know. But 2023 season, going into 2024, they finished with 2 wins. Now 4 in a row to start the 24-25 season.
So with that, Waynesburg just upset Worcester's perfect. They had the perfect record in the President's Athletic Conference, going into this one, getting wins over Teal and Franciscan. Waynesburg making a name for themselves finally in the President's Athletic Conference. So they're able to close this one out. The leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets is going to be Madison Dayton, who finished with 18 points, her career high at her time here at Waynesburg so far. She shot 9 of 12 from the field and was able to bring in 9 rebounds as well, just one short of a double. And then it was Kara McFadden who was able to put 15 points up. We just saw her knock down those crucial clutch free throws. She was also able to bring in 2 rebounds as well. Next up for the Yellow Jackets will be Kalista Friday. Friday put up 9 points. Last game versus Carlo, she had 32 points in her career high. And then looking at Worcester's side of things, the leading scorer today was A. Sturdivant, who finished with 19 points and 9 rebounds, one short of a double-double, followed by Mackenzie Riccatelli, who had 10 points and 3 rebounds.
Waynesburg, who had a horrendous first quarter shooting the ball, shot under 22% from the field, ended up finishing 26 of 84 in field goals. They took a total of 27 more shots than Wooster, and this is something that we mentioned in our season opener coming into this. Waynesburg would often out-rebound teams, but just not be able to finish possessions, you know. And you also look at Waynesburg's three-point, 2 of 24 from the 3, 41% coming into this game, 2 of 24 from beyond the arc. Unacceptable in terms of that, but when you find a way to get it done, when you're not doing what you want to do offensively, you find a way to get it done defensively, and you have an unsung hero on the offensive boards like Jules Moorbacher, who finished with 15 rebounds, 7 of those being offensive boards. That's going to help you win games. So as we wrap up here from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse, it was Waynesburg University 59 defeating College of Wooster 55.